Okay, so my family is finally planning a big overseas trip for next summer. I went online 11 months early to grab business class seats before they sell out. But the prices are completely insane. Almost $8,000 for one ticket. Are they just never affordable anymore?
It is an illusion. You have fallen for the airline industry's most profitable trap. They know anxious travelers want peace of mind, so when they first load their schedules 330 days in advance, they price business class seats at absolute peak retail. They have zero incentive directly out of the gate to offer you a deal.
Wait, so the early bird does not get the worm? I always thought you had to book a year out to get the best seats.
Not in premium cabins. The actual sweet spot for international business class price drops is between 2 and 4 months before departure. The airlines use complex revenue management software. At around 90 to 120 days out, if that luxury cabin is largely empty, the algorithm panics. That is, when they silently slash prices to establish a baseline of filled seats. If you wait until that window, that $8,000 ticket often drops to around $3,000.
$3,000? That is a massive difference just for waiting. But what if I wait and the price never drops?
That is where the ultimate federal loophole comes into play. A rule so powerful, airlines hide it deep in their terms and conditions. And once you know how to wield it, you can lock in a price with zero risk.
A federal loophole? Are you talking about the Department of Transportation rule?
Exactly. The United States Department of Transportation mandates a 24-hour refund rule. As long as you are booking directly with the airline and your flight is at least 7 days away, you can cancel any ticket, even a basic non-refundable one, within 24 hours for a full cash refund back to your credit card. Not a voucher, real money.
Oh, I have heard of this. But how does that help me get a business class upgrade?
You use it to play the system. Let's say you see a decent business class fare or a mistake fare pop up on Google Flights. You do not have time to check with your spouse or coordinate hotels. You book it instantly. You lock in that low price. You now have 24 hours to figure out your life. If the plans do not work out, or if you find a cheaper fare the very next morning, you cancel it for free. You essentially put a $1,000 flight on layaway for a day.
That is actually brilliant. So I just keep booking and canceling if the price drops?
Precisely. But what happens if you already bought an economy ticket and you just want to move up to the big seats without paying the retail difference? There is a highly specific mathematical threshold the airlines use for upgrade bidding. And if you cross it, you almost always win.
I get emails sometimes asking me to bid for an upgrade, but it feels like a scam. I never know what to offer, and I always assume someone rich is just going to outbid me by $1,000.
It is not a scam. It is a blind auction. Airlines would rather sell an empty business class seat for $200 than let it fly empty. But they cannot publicly advertise a $200 business class ticket, or no one would ever pay full price again. So they send out bidding emails.
Okay, so what is the magic number? How do I win without overpaying?
The sweet spot is bidding between 20 and 40% of the cash difference between your current ticket and the business class ticket. For example, if your economy ticket was $500, and business class is selling for $2,500, the difference is $2,000.
So 20% of $2,000 is $400.
Correct. Offer between $400 and $800. Most people try to bid $50 and lose immediately because the airline system has a hidden minimum reserve price. By calculating that 20 to 40% gap, you clear the algorithm's minimum threshold, but you still pay a fraction of the actual retail cost.
That makes so much sense. Just do the math. But wait, what if I can't even afford the bid? Are there ways to get up front by manipulating the route itself?
Yes, and it involves a strategy that saves travelers thousands of dollars, simply by flying away from their actual destination first.
Flying away from my destination? Are you talking about skip lagging? Because I read that airlines will ban you for life if you try that.
No. Skip lagging, or hidden city ticketing, is a direct violation of the airline contract of carriage. If you try it, they will catch you, and they will confiscate your frequent flyer miles. I am talking about positioning flights. This is 100% legal and encouraged by the rules.
Okay, what is a positioning flight?
Let us say you live in Atlanta, a major Delta hub, and you want to fly business class to Paris. Because Atlanta is a fortress hub, Delta has a monopoly, and a direct business class seat might cost $5,000. But if you look at flights from New York or Chicago to Paris, that exact same business class seat might only be $2,000 due to heavy competition.
That is ridiculous. It is the exact same distance.
It is entirely about local market dominance. So what you do is buy a cheap, separate economy ticket from Atlanta to New York for maybe $150. That is your positioning flight. Then you fly your long international leg in a $2,000 business class seat. You just saved almost $3,000.
But what if my first flight is delayed and I miss the big international flight? Since they are separate tickets, the airline won't care, right?
You are absolutely right. That is the one critical danger of positioning. If you miss that connection, you are classified as a no-show and lose your money. The secret is to fly in the night before. Spend $150 on a nice airport hotel. Get room service. Wake up refreshed, walk to the terminal, and step onto your massive discounted luxury flight.
Okay, turning it into a mini vacation before the vacation. I love that. But I have one last question. I see influencers online talking about getting free upgrades just because the economy cabin was full. Does that actually happen?
Yes. It is called an operational upgrade, or op-up. And airlines fight desperately to keep the exact passenger selection criteria a complete secret.
I have literally dressed in a suit, smiled at the gate agent, and asked nicely, just like the internet told me to. I got nothing, just a middle seat near the bathroom.
Dressing nicely hasn't worked since 1998. Today, gate agents possess zero discretionary power to upgrade you just because you are polite. Everything is controlled by a ruthless, completely automated algorithm.
Great. So it is just random?
Not random, highly calculated. When economy is overbooked, the system must forcefully move bodies forward into the empty business class seats to make room. The computer follows a strict hierarchy. First, it looks at elite status. If you hold shiny frequent flyer medal, you are first in line. But if there are no elites left, it looks at fare class.
Fare class? You mean like premium economy?
Yes, but even within standard economy, there are up to 15 different hidden alphabet codes representing how much you paid. A passenger holding a Y-class full fare ticket will always be automatically upgraded before a passenger holding an E-class basic economy ticket. Furthermore, the system heavily favors solo travelers. If there is only one seat open up front, the computer will not split up your family of four. It will bypass you and instantly upgrade the solo traveler sitting 2 rows back.